Greetings from South Korea. I am Adang, Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. The U.S. Federal Reserve has cut its benchmark interest rate by 0.25 percentage points, bringing the rate to its lowest level in more than 3 years. It announced on Wednesday that Federal Open Market Committee had lowered the federal funds rate from the previous 3.75 to 4% range to 3.5 to 3.75%. The Fed's decision marks the third consecutive rate cut since September, lowering the rate by a total of 0.75 percentage points this year. It cited an uncertain economy, including a slowdown in the employment growth rate as well as rising inflation. As the U.S. benchmark rate fell to 3.75% following the Fed's latest decision, the rate gap with South Korea has narrowed to 1.25 percentage points, based on the upper limit of the U.S. rate range. President Lee Jae-myung will hold a summit with Lao President Sisoulith next Monday. According to presidential spokesperson Kang Yoo-jung, the Lao president and his spouse will begin a 2-day official visit to South Korea on Sunday, at the invitation of President Lee. The two leaders are expected to discuss strengthening cooperation in security and trade, as well as joint efforts to combat online scam crimes. President Sisoulith's visit comes as Seoul and Vientiane mark the 30th anniversary of the re-establishment of diplomatic ties this year. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed the annual defense policy bill for the next fiscal year, which restricts the Trump administration from unilaterally reducing the size of U.S. forces in Korea. The U.S. National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, for the fiscal year 2026, approved on Wednesday local time, reportedly includes that the authorized budget may not be used to reduce the number of U.S. troops stationed in South Korea below the current level of 28,500. It also specifically says funds may not be used to complete the transfer of wartime operational control between South Korea and the U.S. in a manner that deviates from the mutually agreed-upon plan. Having passed the House, the bill will take effect once it passes the Senate and is signed by President Donald Trump. In other news, U.S. President Donald Trump has said American forces have seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela as tensions escalate between Trump and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The U.S. Coast Guard, supported by the Navy, carried out the seizure on Wednesday with personnel transported by helicopter from the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier. A day earlier, U.S. fighter jets flew over the Gulf of Venezuela in their closest pass to the country's airspace during the current pressure campaign against Maduro. It remains unclear who owns the tanker or what flag it was sailing under. Trump said the U.S. would keep the oil aboard. The female creators and cast of K-pop Demon Hunters are ranked at number 100 on Forbes' 2025 list of the world's 100 most powerful women. Forbes acknowledged the power and potential of the movie K-pop Demon Hunters, saying the main characters K-pop girl band Hunterix, who became the first animated girl group to top the Billboard 100 with Golden. Forbes also noted that Golden reached 1 billion streams on Spotify. Among South Korean business leaders, Lee Boo-jin, CEO of Hotel Sheila, and Choi Soo-yeon, CEO of Naver, secured 90th and 91st places, respectively. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.